Yeah.
All right. Fuck your Cowboys, man.
Okay. Yo, my boy Zeke fucked up, man. He got
Yeah.
corona.
He should wear more. He should wear longer shirts.
That's true.
With his midriff showing.
Yeah, with his tummy out all the time.
So, Tootie, you a Buccaneers fan this year?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure that one out, man.
No, he
I'm
gonna figure it out.
really on the fence.
Yeah. Now we know. We know. Jump ship.
Hey, man,
The rest
listen.
of the Patriots fans do.
Listen, I'm trying to get y'all on board. I need y'all to be producers next episode.
I got next episode.
Huh? Okay, cool. Well, I'm tagging y'all in now because I need y'all boys to talk because this has been a hell of a week, and I really want to get to our sponsors this week. We're moving on up, and we're moving on up in the world, guys.
Who's our sponsor this week?
Our sponsor this week is the Riviera Beach barbecue place called Right on Cue. If you don't like it, don't come back.
We back.
It is crass marketing at its best.
Man.
But I can agree with that. If you don't like it, don't come back. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Now that's right on cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're off to another show, man. Hey, welcome to the Super Friends podcast. I'm recording live from a unknown location. I am joined by my friend Super Mario 561, Xavier D. McClarty, and the champion, King Chris. I'm always gonna say King Chris.
It's King Chris with a C, spelled incorrectly on purpose. We back, we black.
All right, fellas. Look, listen, we got a sponsor this week. We're moving on up in the world. This week, after 2 weeks of protests, I don't know where to start. But the funny thing is, as much as went on in the culture the last 2 weeks, the thing that people were really asking about, believe it or not, was dating advice. And someone asked me, yes, it is for both genders. Someone says this is for both genders. Yes. Someone asked me right off the top, they said, is marriage worth it in this era? What are the benefits? Should you get married? Why should a man get married in this era? Mario, I'm letting you lead this one off.
I thought you would.
Wait a minute. I was married and you were newly married. Right. The guys on that side, forget about
it. Well, I definitely think it's worth it. Shit, I can't say, if I didn't, I couldn't say it any other way.
Get put out.
But I think so. Like you said, I'm new to being married, but I can tell you this partnership I got right now is just, if I had did this, I just be thinking if I had done this 5 or 10 years ago, how far I'd be. You know what I'm saying? Because I never thought I'd have a time in my life that I could come home, see my son, talk to my daughter on the phone, and drink in the garage with my wife and feel comfortable. Because, I was party harder. Like I never thought it was a point in my life that I was never going to be okay with that going out. Until you get to a point of like, my aspirations and my goals start growing. So then I understood the wastefulness of the life I was living. And then I understood longevity and creating something and memories with a person that could last forever. So then it started meaning more. And then I started thinking about the time that we was dating, and we often talk about those or planning the next trip. And even right now, we still reminisce on my wedding and how much, what I'm saying, I appreciate y'all coming and going, all that kind of stuff like that. And then it even made me want it more for the people around me. And I never did that before. I thought, I always knew I was going to get married, and I feel like it's worth it. But that's why, because I feel like in this world, you need a partner. And I feel like I still believe in family. So I still believe in the structure of a family. I believe the best thing that I can do right now to show a strength in building forward is to raise my kids, and I always talk, I'm black. So I feel like my power comes with me being a black man with a black woman raising 2 black kids, like in a house, it's a power that come from that and the structure that come from that I'm being able to instill. So I think it's worth it because I feel like family is rooted in power.
Yeah, I agree with it. Well, I will say you probably the Bill Cosby, right? The Mickeys and the Roofies and all that stuff. You've been pretty straightforward, man.
Not no more.
I do appreciate the image that you have out of the group. You are the guy that makes marriage look attractive again. I was married.
It's y'all.
I was married. First episode, I was maliciously attacked by Chris. Maliciously attacked. I cried myself to sleep every night. But
reminiscent.
oh man. Oh, you don't know the tears I have, right? But
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't think women know the value of a man saying, "Will you be my wife?" You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. Especially in this era, you got dudes, boy. Dudes could live a real good life out here. They could be Wilt Chamberlain like. I don't think women understand the value of a man saying, out of all everybody around, I want you. I'm about to take on your debt. I'm going to work on your problems with you. And together, both of us might have some issues, but together, I want to do this life thing with you. Nobody else but me and you, rain or shine, all of that stuff. I don't think people really value or really understand how big that is coming from a man. That's a big step.
I think one of the things about that you're saying is I think it's sign of the time. They're watching and they're taking input in from individuals who have no clue. They haven't been married. They're giving input as if they're experts, and then they're spoiling something. If you're with a person, like Mario said, I believe him. I believe that in this time and in this era, you do need a partner, but you need the right partner. See what he said? He can go in the garage and he can chill, and he don't have a desire. I personally witnessed that from a boy. I've come up there and visited. He'll be like, bro, this is open. Go do that, but I'm gonna be in tonight, which was amazing. So I've seen that turnaround, that transition that me and Chris talked about on the last show that we saw inside Hardy. So when you say that he is the epitome of the poster child for us right now, I take my hat off to you because my brother, you doing it. But I think you need a partner, but someone that understands you, and so that therefore you guys can build something, move forward, and it's not anybody else's business, whatever's going on with you guys. And love. I'm all for love, but like you said, in this day and age, it's real easy for you to become a Wilt Chamberlain. Hey man, understand this, understand that, because a lot of women are, I feel like, hungry for love, so they don't understand what it is they weren't taught, and they'll do whatever it is that a man asks for. Never get a husband out the deal and never understand why, and they don't understand that it's them that may be in their own way of them getting, like you said, Tudor. If a man is taking you on and saying, "Hey, I'm fooling with you," and then he's steady being bashed or being, accused of whatever, you're like, why do I need a woman when I can just live my life and I don't have to, be subjected to that? But at the end of the day, nobody wants to die alone. So you do want a wife. You do want a partnership. You want to build something. If you have children, you want to show them an example of leadership of how this goes, and not something that they saw on TV or they heard a friend who had no idea what marriage and love is teach them about.
Chris, bring me home.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say I disagree, but what I will say is I think that we as men have to be honest about who we are and what we want. I believe that marriage should be taken completely seriously. And like it should be broken down to its simplest form. You screwing one woman for the rest of your life. Is that what you want to do? Is that truly what you want to do? Because when we put that lipstick on that pig, it sounds good. All the coming home and this and the family and all that other stuff. But some of us do not want to screw one woman for the rest of our life, and that's the bottom line, number one thing. I believe that you can meet a woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with. I totally agree with that. I think the thing is, are you sure that you want to sleep with one woman for the rest of your life? Because that's what tends to mess up marriages more than anything else, that and finances. Now, once you figure out what you want to get married for, I don't suggest that it be love, because you had that before you got married. I don't suggest it be kids because you can raise kids with a woman without marrying her. I don't suggest it be. I suggest it to be a business, a straight up business decision. And if you're going to do business with a person and take on a business partner for the rest of your life, it should be looked at just as that, as the best business decision that you can possibly make. Because in business, you're going to have to invest. And anytime you invest in something, you should expect a return. That's just what it is. So if you're going to invest in a person for the rest of your life, then you should be getting something in return. And I don't think it should just be philosophical stuff. I think it should be tangible stuff. And I also think with a business partner, they should be putting in with you too. They should be investing in you too. So if it was all of us together, if it was all of us together going into business, and Zay, not to put the spotlight Zay, but if Zay don't show up to the first podcast, and we gotta get used to that for the rest of our life, that's not a good business decision. Now, as long as we don't sign contracts, Zay can show up whenever the fuck he want to. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna sign into a legally binding contract with a person, then that the business aspect of that should be taken in consideration.
Seriously.
Not to mention the essence of marriage is I love you so much that I need you to sign a contract with me so that you can never leave me, and it's illegal to leave me. Now that, my friends, does not make no sense.
Well, Chris,
This world.
Chris has been consistent for the last 20 years on this position that he has about marriage.
I don't think it's clear though,
But listen. I would say for anybody getting married, both of y'all make good points, because a lot of people will marry somebody to just try to lock them down because knowing I really don't have a good hold on them from the get go. Just like some people have a child to try to keep relationship going. There are a lot of reasons. But being that I was married and I cry all the time, I would give this advice. Mario, your advice might be different. I will say that there is no room for ego and pride. If either you project those things or have those kind of positions in a marriage, you are doomed from the start. Because you have to be totally sold on that person. This is my person. Like Chris saying, to an extent, this has to be that person. Like, listen, this is the only person I want to sleep with. This is the only person I'm doing everything with. This is my woman. This is my man. No matter how effed up it get, we are together. We're going to find a way to work it out even when we don't have the answers. That is a position that you have to really have. But ego and pride, because it's going to be a lot of times where you're going to have to say, I'm sorry when you ain't wrong. And a lot of times, fellas, we ain't wrong. But for the peace that you want, for the peace of mind that we all invest in, you're going to have to say, I'm sorry. And it may be I've observed some crazy situations and them people still together. You know what I mean? So if this is the person you love, sometimes it comes with a price. I ain't saying it's right, but listen, I've seen some people go through some stuff and they end up together. So
it's sacrifice, dude. You hear me? It's sacrifice. It's all sacrifice. And I think that might be what this generation missed, where they don't want to do the sacrifice. It's the microwave generation. Everybody wants to be rich overnight, right now. They don't want to put the hard work into what it takes, because marriage is not an easy thing. It's one of them things where you said the easiest thing for me and Chris is to say, hey, man, this ain't going to work. We out of here. And it's easy for us. But when you lock into that one person, boy, that's commitment. That's like you said, apologizing when you ain't wrong, but for the peace of whatever, it is what it is. I think a big part is communication and understanding, which is a lock and key to any relationship. Not, women get sideways, so do men, where they're like, oh, you're not communicating. But that's only one side to the problem. You need to be able to understand or receive the information that you get and understand that it might not be the answer that you want. But for the peace, like you said, I apologize. You felt that way. Now that I know my job, the selflessness in it is to make sure I work on myself so that I can make sure you're happy. But it's selfless on both sides, because that individual, whether it be female or male, gonna have to give up some things in order to achieve that peace and that happiness that a marriage should be. Not this married now and divorced later generation that we in. I don't got time for that. Me personally.
Okay.
So wait a minute. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, one thing I'll say it like this: Zay keeps on saying about this generation. Everybody on this panel, I don't know if they don't have the best relationship with their father, or that they didn't have a full-time father like that. So it ain't our generation that did this. It's a generation before us. So we keep on putting it in as this generation and our generation, but this has been going on for a while. And at some point, we have to examine why this keep on going on. Now, true enough, it's easy to point the finger at the dude. It's completely easy to do that. But at the same time, this has been a problem. You can't name a period in time where this wasn't a problem. You just can't.
It was a period. It was once a time, Chris. It was once a time when young men would get married 15, 16, like that was the goal, to get married. Somewhere along the line, it got lost. Because if you think about it and you look back,
married is one thing. Dude sleeping around has been going on.
Oh, that's been going on since the time before time. I think that one.
That's why I believe that a marriage is between two people. Period. That's between two people. We cannot let traditionalism and how we think it's supposed to be and what we think is supposed to happen get involved with the decisions that two people make. We need to stay out of people marriages completely. So we can't come over there saying she can't let the homegirls talk about what he possibly doing, or we don't know if that relationship can work with that man tipping out. We have no idea. We don't know. We can't let any of the traditionalism.
We do know it can work.
How we know?
Okay, it can work because listen. Let me tell you something. Think about this now, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Right when we were younger, right? It was individuals that were married, happily married, and she knew that her husband was tipping. She knew what kind of man she had, but she loved him. So
let me say one thing. See, I always say this. When somebody asks me about marriage, I always say I gotta first understand who you subscribe to. So my marriage is based biblically because I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in God, man, woman, family. That's how I believe. I married a woman who believes as such. So when we entered into a marriage, we equally yoked. So I lean on God. So you're right. If you don't believe in it, then your marriage, because a marriage is still an agreement that you have, but your wife might be okay with you cheating. That don't mean you shouldn't get married like Mario. You should get married like Chris and Zay and Tootie. You should get married your way. But because you keep saying don't be traditional, but don't cheat. But some people is okay with their husband cheating. That's their marriage. So if you're going off a biblical way, cool. This is how I do it. To me, I had to make a show that you're right. I agree. The hardest decision I had to make in marriage was to say, I'm not going to sleep with no other women. So what I did is the minute I started thinking about that, I had some good advice from one of my friends said, bro, you mastered how to get women all your life. Don't think that you're gonna wake up one morning and forget this or forget the game you run or whatever it is to get to that. So I had to unlearn or really just push that to the side and had to say, I need to see if I can even do this before I bring a woman in my life. Chris knows this. I dated a woman for the sole purpose of seeing if I could not cheat. If I could not cheat, because I have never, like, if I can I'm gonna be with you for the rest of my life. Let me see, good or bad. And I was broke. I was up. I had went through a whole bunch of shit. She was treating me like I wasn't getting treated the best, and I still was turning down women because it was a personal journey for me. Once I seen I can go a year and some change without cheating in a bad relationship, I could only imagine what I could do in a good relationship. But let me, not to get off track, I wanted to give these things I wrote down. See, the first thing I think a man should do is check your expectations. Once again, I'm God, man, family. So my expectations come in with me checking me. Like, I want to make sure that I always feel like this. In my marriage, if stuff getting messed up or fucked up and all that kind of stuff, it's because something I'm not seeing or something I'm not doing. Because I don't believe she's equipped to run a marriage. I'm the head of this household. I'm the head of this. So if I believe that, because I believe that, nobody have to tell me that. I believe that. So when you make you the head, you have more responsibility. That's just anything. You can't say the CEO of the company and the CFO have the same amount of comparability. No, if I'm the head, then that means I have to take more responsibility. That means sometimes she's not equipped to do the stuff I can do. That's how I believe. Maybe sexist, but that's what I believe. And I believe a lot of it is compromising and managing your expectations and being real with yourself. You're right, Chris. If you're not ready to be, if you know a woman wants a marriage that's saying, I want this, this, and this. You have talked about this. You say let's just say she's a Christian. She don't want you to have sex with nobody else. She want you to come home. She don't want you to go to the strip club. If you know you like 5 of those things, I don't care how much you love her. You setting yourself up.
Right.
You setting yourself up for failure. But if you say, I don't marry my man, I don't mind my man going to the strip club. Shit, we don't got to go to church every Sunday. Shit, I'm okay with going out here 50-50 on the rent. Then that might work for you. See, I think marriage, right now we worry about other people's marriage. Chris and me had this talk before I got married. I married Jaleesa. So I don't care what nobody else say. In the day before my marriage, if everybody had went to St. Martin and said, you know what, I'm flying back home, I would have walked down the aisle smiling because I appreciate all y'all coming to witness her. But I was there for Jaleesa at that point for our union. So it didn't matter. But you're right. I know what she expected me, and I know what I could give her. So I walked in front of God and promised her that I can give her what she expects because we had already talked about that. A lot of time I think people go into marriage and what they seen or what they heard of marriage is they don't really lay down expectations, really lay down no ground rules and stuff like that. And they just assume that the other person think like them because they agree with a couple of things they do. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they communicated it harder, but they didn't understand it. Just like I was telling you, they got to understand each other. That communication, like you said, you guys spoke, y'all had y'all discussion, y'all came into an agreement, said this is the way we're gonna do it, and y'all followed that blueprint. A lot of people.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard, I agree with Chris. Daily, this is not. I appreciate y'all saying I got it, but bro, do you understand? I believe y'all want me to succeed, right? I believe people all around the world are praying for me to succeed. Some maybe not, but I believe that. I pray daily though that God lead me as the man in this relationship. If I didn't believe in God, I don't know if I could have a successful marriage because I stay in Atlanta. I can walk out the door and bump into a woman who want to give me everything she wants. So daily, I have to pray and say, you know what, God, not only let me do this the way you want me to do that I read biblically, but let me be an example because I can't preach something that I'm not walking. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I don't want to be out here, oh yeah, you the married, you this and this and this. But I also want to be an example for somebody because you got to stand for something. So I had to master myself first. And that's the daily thing. Because it's not like I don't look at women and say they fine. It's not like I don't want to, but I had to master the act of not acting on it. Because that's who I was. Like, shit, I can get women. Like, this is what and I ain't gonna take nothing from it. I think that's the growth part that I talk to older people and all that kind of stuff.
Well, before we go to Chris, wait a minute. I will give you credit on that, Hardy, because we had a conversation after mine, and I said I learned where I had to have a lot of accountability, which was good, you know. And I think a lot of people have to have accountability through the relationship, and even if you do have a breakup, because a lot of times I tell people, and especially I tell females, if you meet someone and they instantly talking about their ex, that's kind of like a red flag. Mm-hmm. I was looking for the person to be like, listen, it was some things I did, you know, I wasn't where I'm supposed to be, or, you know, in retrospect, these are things that I could have probably committed more. The things you just said about praying and whatnot, some people don't have a blueprint. I can say that in my last marriage, she was married before. So it was certain parts that I didn't have a clue. And we talked the last show about, hell, I didn't know anybody that had a successful marriage. You know what I mean? Like something I could take away from. And when did talk to marriage people, I ain't talking about my mama nitwit.
No, saying, but you know, we got the Flanders. That's the perfectest marriage I've ever seen.
Yeah, but they don't mentor anybody. So I'm saying like when I did meet married people, the dudes would be like they hated being married. Now, they would smile and hold hands, but when you talk to them, they're like, man, don't get married. I can't stand it.
So
these conversations we've had every conversation under the sun, but I can walk away saying, you know what? I got some things where I did. I don't even discuss the other person because I worried about me because I need to grow and evolve. So I'm sorry about it. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I think I definitely pull out the things that hard to say, and that's one of my oldest homeboys, so I'm always rock with him. But I also slightly disagree. I think that in a relationship or in a relationship or in a marriage, but again, disclaimer: I've never been married, but I think it's our responsibility to, if that's what we want from someone, it's not our ability. It's not our responsibility to enforce that. It's our responsibility to give them a reason to. So if you don't want her to cheat, you need to be giving her a reason to. So what I see is Hardy. If Hardy don't want Jaleesa to cheat, he getting his ass up to go to work every day. He's taking care of his children. He's not being a dick, beating on her. He's trying to progress himself business wise. So I believe he is purposely going out of his way to give Jaleesa a reason not to. So and I believe that should be reciprocal. I don't believe that me fighting temptation should just be on me, because what people don't what temptation is for a woman is turning on and off the switch. They can go to Publix, and as soon as they get ready to get some, they can get some. As the hunter, it's a little tougher. The prey is not the same. It's a little tougher for us. So the act of fighting temptation is a constant thing for us personally. So I believe that it's on our mate's responsibility also to give us a reason not to. So I don't want to. When you shut down that fun box, absolutely not. That breaks the contract for me. When you when I gotta hear when you running it, when I gotta hear you running your mouth all day, especially if I'm getting up and getting to it every day, because I preach men
definitely
be
a deal breaker.
self-sufficient, men be self-sufficient, men be chasing their goals and giving a woman a reason not to, because you can't beat on a woman. You can't. You're a bitch if you're constantly yelling and fussing with her. The only leverage that you have in that relationship, in that marriage, is the fact that if you don't treat me right, I'm gonna walk my ass away from you. You got to stop playing with me. So that's my belief. That's your only leverage. So I don't believe that it's just Hardy's responsibility to fight his his temptations every day. I believe if someone wants Hardy to be faithful, then they have to give him a reason to. Just like if Hardy don't want somebody to be faithful to him, he needs to give a reason to. And what I see Hardy does is get his ass up, go to work, try to chase a goal, try to chase a purpose, try to be a father, try to be somebody that's willing to be someone that you can follow, try to be a leader every day. So I don't think it's just on us. I think it's a collective effort, my brother.
Well, Chris, before we go to the next topic, I want you to beat it like a piñata. What was the longest relationship you've had? And I'm talking about years, not months. You enjoy your answer.
Every single relationship I've ever had has been long. When I first my first girlfriend was at 16. I dated her until I was 21 when I moved to Orlando. My second relationship was with my baby mama. I dated her from 22 to 28. So every relationship that I've actually been in has been a long time because of what me and Hardy talk about. I take it seriously. Do I take monogamy seriously? Absolutely not. Well, I haven't took monogamy seriously in my previous relationships. I say that. I haven't been in a relationship in over a decade, so I don't know my current state, what's going on. But when I am completely loyal to people. I have the same set of homeboys that I've had basically for 20 years. When I was in those relationships, yes. Did I sleep with another woman? Absolutely. But every woman that I ever slept with, they knew that I had a lady, and they knew that I wasn't going to leave my lady. If let's just say I slept with a woman, not to say that this is any type of excuse at all, but no friends. And if I did sleep with a woman, if I'm living in Riviera Beach, she was living in Fort Lauderdale or something like that. Not to make that an excuse, but at the end, I did have some type of rules. But as far as leaving my lady for another woman, I'd have had my lady call other women that was in my phone. If it's one thing they ain't gonna say is, "Oh, Chris over here taking care of me. Chris is over here acting like he's my boyfriend. Chris is over here doing all this for me." Chris is screwing you, and that's all you are getting. Chris is not paying no bills, not doing anything else. So I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm not saying I was right in none of those situations. But what I will say is, to my lady, it wasn't gonna be no. I wasn't in no two relationships. It wasn't gonna be no other lady. And any chick that I ever messed with on the side knew that I had a lady. Absolutely. Not to say that that's the right thing to do.
Quick question before we go to the next topic: are soulmates realistic, or is that something of fantasy? Hardy started off. Soulmate.
that word soulmate, it's kind of crazy. I used to talk to a homegirl of mine about that soulmate thing because I don't, that's a touchy. I don't know because I don't know what that soulmate thing mean. Like you have to give me the definition of what soulmate is to you for me to answer that question because people have so many various descriptions of what a soulmate is.
You got friend soulmates.
No, women will say there's one person, like you are destined to meet this one person. This is one person. You were born to be with this person. This is the person you're supposed to marry, and y'all are going to be everything together, right?
Well, I feel like
the soulmate thing, that is, some people believe soulmates mean y'all going to have a perfect relationship. Some people believe soulmate is the person that's going to make you better. But overall, is it fantasy or realistic?
Well, I feel like this. I feel like you have a purpose, right? So if you believe in purpose, I believe you get with a helpmate to fulfill God's agenda for this world. So if soulmate in that way, yeah, I believe Jaleesa is the person I'm supposed to be with on this path to get me to do, for both of us to be able to do something that God got us to do. So I feel like we got to pray. That's what I always tell her. It's deeper than, to me right now in my life right now, I had to get to a point where it's deeper than a lot of stuff that's superficial. Because truth be told, like money-wise and all that kind of stuff, my life kind of good, but we searching for more. Like we have Bible study together, like we trying to, because I understand God didn't just put us together to have a nice house and go on trips and be on Instagram and on Facebook. He put us together to make a difference. So I believe she's my soulmate because I believe right now we have a purpose out here to do together. So if you mean that way of soul mate, I believe that. But that's kind of touchy though, because it's just hard still for me to believe that. I'm gonna say this. I see my daddy get married to his first wife and have a son who is my brother, and then everything seemed good. But I seen the lady he with right now, and not my mama, not my sister mama, not my dad, my brother mama, none of them. I believe the woman he's with right now is the woman he should have been all his life. And he'll tell you he met her a long time ago, but he was listening to himself. So when I see stuff like that, I kind of question that because I feel like, what was the purpose of him doing all that? Because they have no children together, but all his children come from other ladies. But right now, since he got with her, his purpose has been, I've seen my daddy go from this kind of guy, just successful to successful philanthropist, own business, just like shoot up. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm still kind of like 50-50 on that soulmate thing. I don't know.
All right, Zay and Chris, give me your quick responses.
I think that we say words that we don't understand. I think we never took the definition of soul. Soul is something that's eternal. And soul is not a tangible thing. It's not like you can point to your soul. You can't touch your soul. I think we have brain and eye mates, body mates, but we don't have soul mates. Our soul is something that's eternal. So that means whether we in this flesh or not, our soul is something that exists. So that means two eternal souls, two eternal things that's outside of your body has a mate, which is a partner. So no, I think by definition there's no such thing as that. I believe that there are people that we are highly compatible with. I believe that there's people that you can be 100% you and they rock 100% with you. But that's I think we can only be brain, body, and mind, whatever mates. We can't be soul mates because our soul is. I actually assume it belongs to someone.
There you go.
All right, give it to me.
I don't think that soulmate thing is it. You'll find someone that's in tune with you and that completes you, or that has your strengths where you're weak at, and you do the same to them where it's reciprocal. I don't believe that soulmates thing.
I can say one more thing before we end.
Yes, sir.
I think this. I think I'm kind of saying what Chris saying. Like, I don't believe your soulmate can be a person built on likability. I believe it has to be purpose driven. I believe my purpose comes from God. So if I was to say Jaleesa's my soulmate, I believe God put two souls together to fulfill a purpose. So it had nothing. Jaleesa, I'm not calling her that because she pretty, because she get along with me. I'm saying if me and her get into a fight right now, I'm gonna believe she my soulmate because I'm believe that we have a purpose from God. Like in me praying and stuff, that's what I'm saying. Like what on that point, I believe you can have a soulmate, but it might not be who you want it to be. It might even be who somebody you like.
Chris.
Okay, I believe that again, we have to go by definition. People are okay with being first. People will think that they have soulmates in retrospect. They'll believe that this person that they was with this person a long time and that didn't work out, and now they found their soulmate because we look at things in retrospect. Not only that, let's take a condition of the word. Of just the word, the definition of the word, it's a soul. We okay with it being another person. We just not okay with it being any other person. We okay with your soulmate being another woman, but a soul is a man too. Do you think you have a man soulmate? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I do.
You do.
People,
that's called your friend. You just said it in the beginning, though, Chris.
But that's what I'm saying. I believe y'all talking to my purpose. I believe if God give me agenda, the wisdom you give me, they're saying, Mario, you talk to me and gave me some profound for somebody not being married that hold me accountable in my marriage. So I believe you are necessary for me to stay on this purpose. So when you say that's what I'm saying, let's take away a physical being in a woman. Take away your soul. I believe your soul is given to by who? God. So the only way you can have a mate is if God send you a mate. So that's what I'm saying. It might be a friend. It might not be my wife. My soul might be I'm saying somebody who attack your purpose to help you get to the agenda that God wants. When people use it, I think they misuse it and then put it as, oh, this is my wife, this is my soulmate. That has nothing to do with your soul. I agree 100% with you, Chris. That has nothing to do with your soul, likability and all that. But I'm saying I have women in my life who I am tied to right now that Jaleesa know that they are part of my life right now. Like we don't have this talk. Like I talk to them, she knows this. They're part of my life right now because I feel like it's deep. I don't want to have sex. I think they are put in my life as people to hold me accountable, to push me, I'm help them, I give them, bro. It's not no secret or it's not no chance that we've been this close and we have just still been growing and growing and growing. I believe we definitely tied by the soul. It's deeper than that. Because sometimes all y'all get on my nerves. I'm pretty sure I get on y'all nerves. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say Kristen blacked out. Hey, we got two more topics. We're moving fast tonight, right? Everyone that's watching at home, I appreciate the comments. Please hit that share button. We're simultaneously, I don't even know if I said the word right, casting the home.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, man, damn, bro. On a few networks, man. Hey, I'm doing a lot here. Two different topics left, right? One, dating advice. I know y'all are gonna act the fool. The date doctor's up top, waiting on this moment in the show. All right, date doctor, you are coming in third, but we're not gonna beat this like a piñata because we got 25 minutes left in the show, and we have to talk about the protest after this segment here because this has been a long week, a long 2 weeks, and I want to get to that. I want to start off by saying, as far as dating advice, and this is coming from me, this is just my opinion. I have such an issue with this era of vanity. I feel like a lot of people are looking to be rewarded. They're looking for these dream relationships. They cut that phone off. Looking for these dream relationships, and they're looking for the person. They're looking at the person. They're looking at how he looks, and then they're trying to secondly examine who the person is. Well, a lot of people are dating this person while still talking to this person, or if you're doing shady stuff, don't say that you're looking for love, because I really believe in my heart that unless your heart is pure and you on a level of godliness where you saying, hey, I'm ready for that person, nothing is going to work out for you. So get into a good place and actually have conversations. Stop looking at people. It might be a guy that doesn't, pique your interest all the way out, but I believe in giving people a phone call. Give a guy one conversation. You would be surprised where it goes at. Hardy.
Dating. I believe the first thing you got to do is be real with yourself and ask yourself, are you really ready to date? Are you really saying dating advice, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm saying you got to ask yourself, is you ready to date? That'll be my first thing to a man. Women, I think you got to be who you looking for. Like, don't. A lot of people have unrealistic expectations. A lot of people have that. So I say that's another one. And another thing with men, don't be scared to court a woman no more. We get too that I don't want to spend no money. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to do nothing. I don't mind sending flowers. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna sound like I'm this guy, but I'm saying sending flowers, popping up, and all that kind of stuff. That stuff still matter. Opening doors, all that stuff right there still matter. And I don't think a lot of people do that anymore. So that's a little.
Can I say something before I go to Zay? Yeah. I don't agree with that. I've seen a lot of dudes earnestly go at a woman that they like. They either being called lame or they being screenshotted. I don't know.
But you can't worry about see, them the people who I don't worry about. I always say I'm not for every woman. Like, it's some women who I am gonna be green and lame to. Cause I'm a grown man. They don't want a grown man. So your perception of what a man is gonna be screwed on who you think you are. Because you're right. To some people, he do this, he do this, he do this. Cool. I'm not the man for you, but that's not gonna stop me from being who I am. If I go to your house and your trash running over, I'm gonna take your trash. Yeah. If I open the door, I'm gonna open the door. You call me what you want to call me, because that only tells me who you are. So that's why I always say a man got to be who he is.
Zeke, because I'm waiting on Chris. Chris, you can't hear? Chris, you can't hear? I'm going to delete him. Go ahead, Zay.
Swipe left.
Well, I don't know. Dating, like I say, for me and Chris, that's our forte. You guys have been married. The date doctor not here, but dating, I think, is very, very simple. It's the same thing with the marriage. Guys, first and foremost, make sure that you guys are an item. If you're dating exclusively, make sure you're an item. If you guys are just dating because you're trying to learn each other, that's cool, but have that expectation of, I'm dating you, but there are other prospects, so that you're being honest up front, which I don't think a lot of people like, even though they say they do, they don't. Because it's a competition thing, or you got all of this going on with you. No, I'm letting you know who I am, so you know who you're dating, because that's the first part to the ultimate goal, which is going to be marriage. I believe you need to know that person, and that almost goes back with what you were saying too. When you start, you grow. I started off as this person, I ended at this person. I'm sorry, Hardy, we use you a whole lot because, again, I can speak from where you came to where you are. I started like this. I personally believe that if Jaleesa would have been harping on you, or, oh, Mario, why this girl in your face, or why you friends with this person, I don't think she would have stood the test of time. She had to understand who you were as a person, and then also trust you to know that he's going to be around women, but he knows how to govern himself accordingly. Too many women are, oh, no, I don't trust that bitch, so I know y'all got something going on. You're not even thinking of that woman like that, in that light. Yeah, it's a possibility. It could go that way, but I'm not going that way. And that causes a lot of friction, which stops a lot of the dating that could have been going on. You got to cut that short. I can't go on with you.
Can I vice versa. No, I want to say something. We'll go to Hardy, and then we're going to the date doctor over there. I would say two things. One, I meet a lot of people, and this coming from all the fellas. I feel like a lot of people are dating that shouldn't be dating. A lot of people are lonely and they want a companion. But a lot of men meet females who right off the top are going to tell you about their last relationship. They're going to tell you all these things like they got PTSD, right? If you're not in a place to date, then don't date. But there's a lot of people who you might be a decent guy. You might be a decent guy, but she's going to take the first 2 weeks to prove that you just like all the other guys that were her bad decisions. I'm sorry to say that. Second of all, let's go back to 2011, because you said something, Zay, and y'all might not agree with that. 2011, when we had the forum on 34, right? Calling Ashley out on this. I was dating 5 people, right? They all knew that I was dating 5 people. They didn't have to know each other's name, but
they knew.
Thank you. At that point, I had my house, car. I felt like I was in a position to be open to say, I like you and I want to date you and see where it goes. But right now, I'm in a place where, until I can figure it out, this is where I'm at. And it was almost egotistical. I was like, take it or leave it, right? I don't know if you can. People will say that's cool, but nowadays, if you was to actually say that, it wouldn't really be accepted anymore.
Hey, I personally believe that you did nothing wrong because you gave them a choice. There's too many times, like right now in this society, where niggas are lying, and then we get coined with all of their foolishness. Where chicks are, oh, you just like dude in that 2-week process that you talking about, you just like the dude before me. No, I'm gonna give you the opportunity on if you want to fuck with me or not. This is who I am. All right. Now, eventually, if you show me that you can reciprocate, and that's the honesty part of it, right? Then eventually, when I see that you fucking with me the way that I want or that I think is deemed necessary for me, then all that other stuff starts to get to the wayside. But it starts with the honesty. Hey, man, I'm out here.
I feel like this.
That's the difference between
this. Right, I feel like this. Well, see, I think people get that word. A lot of women. I'm gonna say this. A lot of women get the word dating fucked up. If I'm dating, you're owed nothing from me, but honesty. That's it. I'm saying all you're owed from me if I'm dating is honesty. Is to say this. If I tell you I'm gonna pick you up at 7, I'm gonna come at 7. If I don't, I'm gonna call you and I ain't gonna come at 7. That's the only thing you can hold me accountable for. Because if I'm dating, I'm trying to see who I like out here, who I vibe with out here. I would want to ask this one question to a woman. Why do women say they're dating, walk into a relationship, and think that man just dropped every woman in the world? You, and he met you Sunday at the club. Like, that's not even realistic to think that I have no hoes. The same thing that made you want me is the same thing that made other hoes want me. And you thought I met you at the club on Sunday, and all of a sudden, we talked that good that we went out on Monday, and on Wednesday, I have no more hoes in the world. So if you see me Friday with another woman, nice, I'm a nasty dog. When we dating, I owe you nothing but honesty.
You know, Hart, I think a lot of women don't realize that's a process. And I was joking with somebody about this week, but it's really real. Like, it's an old song. I think it's Shirley Murdoch or somebody, or one of them, where they said I was earning my man while I was learning him. Yeah, you're not gonna like everything he do, but if you communicate to him that you don't like that, if he fool with you enough, he's gonna give him some time. He's gonna try to do away with those things that are unpleasant to you, so that he can make sure that he is that shining apple in your eye, because you're showing him that you're that shining apple in his eye. But if you ain't showing him that, don't expect that. They're gonna be that. It's gonna be competition. It's just like the combine. Hey, the best of the best. That's what I'm running with. You feel me? I'm not just gonna push everybody to the side just because I met you. I don't think that's right.
Well, let's go. Let's go to the great.
It might be. It might be. I'm single.
Come on, Nate. You got 15 minutes. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, first I got dating rules and commandments. The number one rule and commandment is date for respect and cooperation. Period. You date for respect and cooperation. If she don't respect you, then you don't need the love. You don't need the sex. You don't need nothing. Well, you don't need the sex monogamously, but you date for respect and cooperation. I speak against submission and love simply because not so much as love. I just put love last after respect and cooperation. And I speak against submission because I don't believe that a woman is in her full essence if she's submissive. Do not answer one word text. You have some fucking respect for yourself. If she's sending you one word replies, don't talk to her no more. Treat dates, first dates are not that's not your girlfriend. Do not treat a first date like a girlfriend. There's some women that has a requirement that you have to take me to such and such place on the first date. Now, what I believe is on that is you're being is what something is happening here. There's a director and there's a person that's auditioning for a role. Why the fuck do you want to be auditioning for a role? If you, as a man, that you should be a fucking director. So if you sit here thinking that the ambiance or the venue is going to seal the deal for you, then that means she's not loving you or liking you or learning you. She's liking the things that you can do for her or the things that you will do for her. So do not treat dates as I mean, first dates and the initial dates as girlfriends. What do you do with your girlfriend? You take your girlfriend out. You take your girlfriend out to nice restaurants and good excursions and out of town and out of on trips and stuff like that. Save that for your old lady, or at least somebody that's willingly giving you the box. Period. That's it.
What
that's you?
That doesn't mean
What
that.
that's you?
FaceTime?
What if that's you? What if that's you?
What
Like,
if FaceTime?
what if I go there?
You do what you want to do. I'm not telling you don't have to listen to me, but if your bitch
No,
ass
I'm asking you a question. No,
if you come in,
I'm asking you a question. I'm saying, what if I like to do that? I'm saying, if I'm asking you a question, like, so right now, you saying don't take them to a nice restaurant, but what if I go to nice restaurants? I don't want to fucking go to Burger King.
Look, you do what you want to do. I'm just saying, don't come back crying and like, man, this girl. If I ain't got a steak in her mouth, she don't want to pick up the phone. She don't want to go with me.
Yeah.
But you just said you're the director.
You're the director.
Just as sure as she could go to Roof Chris. Just as sure as she could go to Roof Chris, she could go to Home Chris. Just as sure as she can go to goddamn the Cheesecake motherfucking Factory, she could go to the Couch Factory.
Right, you saying it's not a requirement. It's not a requirement.
I'm saying don't treat first dates like girlfriends. Chris. Understand that you are if you was a stock, you would be one of the highest stocks there is, because especially if you're a brother. A lot of us are in jail. Some of us are in relationships. Some of us is on the down low. So if you are a heterosexual man with an income and you're taking care of your kids and responsible for your kids, you are a high level stock. So you should be treated as such. Don't you go on that motherfucker tap dancing for her like I got that I'm so good for her. You're the goddamn stock. That's not a lot of you. If this, you know why Jordan sell for how much they is? Because you can't find the motherfuckers in Walmart. That's the reason why they sell so much. Because he don't put out a whole lot of them. He put out a small amount of them, and that's what makes the price. That would raise the price on them. You are a stock. But first, before all these dating tips, work on yourself. Be self-sufficient. Take care of yourself. Be able to don't be around here. Don't be around here trying to mooch off of no goddamn female. Don't be around here letting no female take care of you. Don't be around here jobless or incomeless. Don't be around here without no ambition. First thing first is become a high commodity. First thing first is become a high stock. But before you even become a high stock, understand that just you as a vessel, just you as a man is a high stock, because a lot of us are in jail. Some of us are gay. Some of us are already in relationships, like hard in committed relationships. So the numbers are low. So if you believe in because here's the thing, you can meet a woman right now in the middle of the project with 4 fucking kids and treat herself like she is prime Amazon stock. Bitch, you got 4, 5 kids and you live in a goddamn project and you talking about, no, I ain't gonna come over there. You ain't gonna come over there on the first date.
Thank you.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Why should I be? But the thing about it is this: why don't you believe like that? Why don't you believe in yourself like that? You need to have the same mindset. You need to have the same mindset that women that with millions of kids that ain't got shit going on for them that they think. Because I'm the last one that's gonna sit here and try to bash women. I'm not finna do that. I don't have the time for that. I got a sister. I got a daughter. I have female family members. I'm not dogging women. I believe that that's a great mindset to have. No matter what your position is, think highly of yourself and think that just because I have a box, I should be treated a certain way. You should feel the same way. And most importantly, fellas, enjoy the open competition. Because at the end of the day, if in the dating process, I don't know how it is in marriage, I can't tell you about
dating world.
But in the dating world, if she doesn't feel like there's no competition, you will be treated as such.
There you go.
You will be treated as such as there's no competition. You answer that phone every motherfucking time she answer it, she call you, you be readily available. Because if you always answer the phone, if you always being able to be caught up with, that means your motherfucking ass ain't doing nothing to get no money, to build yourself, to take care of your kids. You ain't doing nothing. You sit on the phone waiting for a goddamn female to call you.
Amen. Date doctor.
Fellas,
thank you, date doctor.
Work on yourself. And this has been a mini clinic from the date doctor.
The date doctor just acted like he was closing out a revival
He
at
was.
some church. Boy, that boy was emotional. I could
He
feel that.
did.
That was truly a message to you. That Negro drinking water, he didn't got a little parched from the message.
Hold on, let me.
Oh, okay. Listen, man. Listen, we doing good today because we moving fast. This week, the protest. I can't even come home to Atlanta. I can't come home because y'all tearing up everything I love. Where I'm gonna eat at? I stay downtown. Listen,
You should be eating at
protest.
Wendy's anyway.
I didn't eat at Wendy's.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't eat at Wendy's, Chris. Hush your mouth.
Hey, they retracted that statement too, Chris.
Okay.
They did
We
not.
didn't burn that Popeye down. We didn't burn the Popeye down. I bet you that.
Did.
We ain't burn the Wendy's down.
Yeah, we got that on tape, footage.
They got a $10,000 reward for the Caucasian princess who did it.
Wish I knew.
Protest. I was in Miami this weekend. Luckily I didn't get caught in another protest. Atlanta protest. They're marching every day. I have said this, and I'm going to say this tomorrow on a panel. I need us to mobilize. We're marching, but where's the leadership to mobilize? We still need to try to come up with a fund where we can collect some money. That way, if protesters get arrested, we have bail money. We need to retain some attorneys. You need to have a voting block. There's so many things I feel like we're missing the opportunity on. And just like I said, every week is a new murder to get us to move to another case. It was George Floyd. This week it's the new guy that was killed at Wendy's, which was absurd. The guy's drunk.
Sean Brooks.
Got cooperated. How far is a drunk guy gonna get? He was about to give up then. Anybody know when you're on Hennessy, you're not running far. Okay. If he ran away, you got his ID.
He's on his car.
Why did you got his car? Why did you shot him in the back? That's a coward move. But listen, what are we going to do, or what should be our approach? Because I don't see this thing dying anytime soon. People are protesting every day, but we're marching. But what are we going? What's going to be the end result? Marching ain't it. Y'all can march 20 miles. It is the solidarity is good, and thanks to Hardy, because you told me to do it. I went out and I joined the movement this week. Shout out to Mayor Felder in Riviera Beach. Shout out to West Side something in Riviera Beach that organized. Doug Hawkins. You got people organized, but we need to mobilize and organize that way. When it comes to election time, you got some money you can put towards some candidates, some money that you can put towards voter awareness. I'm just saying we need to collect the money and mobilize, but that's my spiel. Hardy, Zay, and then Chris.
Well, I think the bailout initiative is already kind of cool, piggybacking off of what you said. I'm gonna say that. But I feel like right now, sometimes you got to understand what your role is in this life. That's why I wanted you to get out there, Tootie. I think a little bit more because you are the most knowledgeable one out of all of us when it comes to politics and understanding this. So in Rivera, I'm gonna talk about there. That's where I'm from. Right now, with you and the mayor, and I seen him out there. I seen Doug out there. I seen a couple more people out there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't calling everybody's name. I think at some point y'all got to have a round table and set the blueprint and then set it in Rivera. And then y'all can travel to Atlanta, travel to Jacksonville, travel to other cities and say, hey, look, this is what we did for our city. This happened back in 2020. Y'all can have this in place, start sitting with people. But it has to be something that's formally set down with lawyers, paperwork, and everything. Go for, you know what I'm saying, and start something and put it into place. And I think this might be a good time for you to walk into this, like it might be a call for, you know what I'm saying? Like, a good point in your life when you set something, put it on the table, because you got the passion and you got the people behind you. Because you can call me and tell me what I need to do or what I need to do. I think on this one right here, I'm kind of falling back to be led because I feel you. I don't know what else to do. I'm at the point in my life right now. I'm in Atlanta and I'm from Rivera, so I see what happened in Atlanta. If it wasn't for God's rain, if it didn't storm yesterday, they'd have burnt this bitch down. The only thing that saved Atlanta right now is for the last 2 nights, it's been raining. But even in the rain, one thing I can say, they protesting. They shouldn't have heart. It's nothing stopping them. But you're right. It's just they just out there and they're trying to do that besides hurt somebody.
I will say again, I want to thank you because you put me iron sharpens iron. I talked to my contact the other day because a lot of people don't know the people that's behind the scenes. The whole thing that Trump was going to do the Juneteenth event in Tulsa. I called a friend that I have here that called the White House, and they talked to people. Right? I was like, if you guys pull that, it's going to be Bloody Sunday. So I do appreciate God put me in a position where I can be involved or at least know some people where I can make contact because we just dudes from Revere, you know what I mean? And we've all involved into some professionals, and I do sometimes have to humbly thank God for allowing me to have some influence. Go ahead, Zay.
I'm just gonna run with that too. I said it last time. I'm gonna say it again. Everybody doesn't have the luxury of having a Horace Towns in their back pocket. Call you when something doesn't go right or something you question, pick up the phone and ask. Everybody doesn't have that. I can also call my good buddy Doug Lawson. He definitely put me in the right spot. I seen you guys doing the march. Heard it again. You said it jokingly before, but it was on point too. You do got to get out there, which I know that was something against what you wanted to do, but it's needed. And the reason why I feel like it's needed is because of that blueprint. The younger ones who seem to have all of the energy and the vigor right now to go out and protest and march and organize, they need to learn how to do it, those systems, those channels, which I believe you're an asset at. You have the connections that can get certain things the ideas that they have formulated together and get gumption going where they can get some traction and get it out of the way. But I think that is going to start with education, informing them so they know who they're going for versus going for like parties and things like that, knowing each individual. It might even have to be a bipartisan thing where you're voting on both sides, even though you're a Democrat. This guy's a Republican, but his views and his morals line up with mine. And they just don't know that because there's some people who go to the voting polls and vote straight Democrat because that's what they were taught. So I think the education part is where you are in that tree, just trying to organize some things and we can funnel the youth that we see that are stepping to the forefront, wanting to lead to you so that they can help, I believe. So
just what I was on to Chris.
Hey, let me say one more thing. Let me say one more thing. I'm gonna tell you why it is. The recent election, right? We just had. We just had in Georgia. And you seen Georgia, and I'm gonna let Chris go on the news and everything about voter suppression, right? So me and Tootie talked. I stood in line for 3 hours and got rained on 2 times, right? And the sad thing about it is I'm not from Atlanta, right?
You don't know those people.
Right. So what I had to do was I'm doing research. But this person saying vote for this person, this saying, but I didn't have I didn't have a horse in Atlanta to say that. So now I'm looking for some kind of blueprint or say, hey, bro, it don't matter Democrat or Republican. These are the people, a list of people who have black interests involved. I had none of that. So now I'm talking to people in the line. I'm trying to gather stuff because I'm actually, I know like 3 people to vote for out of the 23. And the rest I was lost on. So I'm trying to see
Christmas tree
or what you think. But it was nobody out there saying, hey, here go a list. That person might give you a card and say, vote for Horace. But what about Zay, Chris? What about the rest of the people? Because Horace can't do it alone. So even if Rivera start that, a whole card of people, vote for these people.
But I've seen that has been done before, and I think that just needs to be done more. And especially more so with the youth, because they're the ones that are coming up and they're the ones that are lost at it. A lot of times I think that elections are lost because they just don't get out and vote. And even our age group as well, because we're like, man, I don't know this cat or whatever. This is what's been heard. So they don't even waste the time to go vote, which is not a waste of time because we get characters in there who don't even have our interests at heart. And we did.
I can co-sign to that. I can co-sign to that better than anybody. Zane, Chris, it's been a long week. Hopefully your sister is doing better. I see that somebody tried to put up a fraudulent GoFundMe page on our behalf. Listen, my apologies, man. Hopefully your sister's doing well, bro.
Well, yeah, I visited. I was with her this weekend. She's in good spirits. A lot of the swelling has gone down. Right now we're just doing a legal fight. So just keep her in your prayers and everything like that.
Tell the
But she's
backstory.
doing, huh?
Kind of tell the backstory if they don't know, just a little,
Right.
of what happened about the.
Well, again, my sister, like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, she was participating in a peaceful protest and was shot in the face by a rubber bullet. We don't think that that's protocol, that you should be shooting rubber bullets in the face, but that's a legal battle that we're going to get in. She's had a couple of interviews on CNN. She's been doing a lot of interviews speaking out about police brutality and just the way police handle things. And but out of respect for her, I'm gonna not speak on it specifically because she's dealing with it on the legal side. But what I will do is just thank you guys for reaching out. If you donated and for the GoFundMe, and I just want to let you guys know, give you an update. She's doing a lot better. She's in good spirits and she's still fighting. On topic though, I'm real particular about the words that I use. Horace was saying, what are we gonna do? I think that we should use terminology of what are we gonna do next, because like Hardy said, I think the next, because a lot of stuff has been done. So I agree with Hardy when he said educate the voters. What I think that we should do is use our platforms to do such. If you give us information and we could then post it out to our following about the particulars about these candidates, not just about the party that in which they provide in, the particulars about the candidate, but also to say that, like act as if nothing has been done. I think it's not genuine, because since the marching, and we just going by the marching, since the marching, there has been a no chokehold rule in law passed in New York, so where you can't use the chokehold. There has also been the Breonna Taylor law has came in where we can't execute warrants. Also, from these marches, you have gotten one of the most predominant young entertainers as Lil Baby making a song about this very topic that speaks on what's going on right now. So to say that the marching hasn't led to anything, I don't know if that's particularly true. I think what the words we should be using is what's next. What's next should be education, as Rich Harder said. Each one teach one. Those who know teach, and then we can spread the word. Again, what we touched on last show, gun ownership and protecting yourself. We as Black men have to get out of this docile way of life. I see a lot of the shirts saying "Don't shoot." Well, let's make the shirt say "We shoot back."
That's right.
Let's stop using terminology that puts us in a weaker position. Let's start to say things and act in certain ways that make it so it's a deterrent to treat us in this way. Also, what Hardy said last show, he talked about the fear of not going to jail. Of going to jail. We got to understand that is a part of the process. So we may end up going to jail, but at the end of the day, we have to change the way that we think. I think Zay put a post up that was profound to me. It spoke on mindset. We have to change our mindset. If we change our mindset, then we'll change the way that we communicate. If we change the way that we communicate, we'll change the message that goes out, because we do have young people looking up to us. I posted on my Instagram topics to talk about for the show. Tyler, to the son, he hit me back about young youth mentorship. That's the youth telling you that they're listening. Right. That's the youth saying, "Hey, we need you to talk." So all we got to do now, as the OGs, because I didn't officially reach Unc status. Because when he called me Unc at first, I was like,
"That's a hard pill to swallow, ain't it?"
Is that respect, or is he's saying the gray in my mustache has turned me to Unc status? But that's neither here nor there. The point I'm trying to say is they are actually reaching out to us, and it's our duty to do it. Because, like I said, from the song that I recently heard from Lil Baby, that can help a lot. These little steps. Let's not belittle the little steps that's been happening. And I don't even want to call them little steps, because laws being brought in and legislated is not little at all. You can't use the chokehold in New York. You can't do the Breonna Taylor law says you can't execute no-knock warrants. That's big time. That's how you really move things. It's not about being mad and screaming "fuck the police." It's about finding a way to make laws that protect us, and not only that, taking upon ourselves to protect us and protect our family. So we need to have accountability to protect us and our family, our women, and all of that. So that's what I got to say.
All right. Well, I give everybody some homework. Most times, a lot of people that's going to jail has went to jail. A lot of urban men have went to jail on a gun charge that could have been avoided if they had went and took a concealed weapons permit, which costs $100 X amount of dollars. Right. I challenge anyone that has a nephew or a son who may be carrying or potentially can be carrying. Avoid those 10 years and go out. Let them go and take this 4-hour class, which ain't really 4 hours, and get a concealed weapons permit. I see too many young brothers carrying these guns, and then they're getting these charges that are felonies. We have to. A judge told me one time, and it wasn't my case, ignorance of the law is no excuse. We can't keep getting beat off saying we don't know, because the whole prison system is based on us coming to jail. So we got to do better with that. If you know somebody that needs help getting registered, especially the ladies, get you a gun permit or get you a stun gun. I really want to see more women. I would even be interested in sponsoring a class here. I think Nika had one at one time.
I was just about to say that.
To get more women. They got plenty of money. So yeah, Zay could sponsor the next class to get some of these women or gun permit class. Before we close off, I want to thank you, brothers. I love y'all each. Talking about mentoring, I left music in 2000. I don't know what. Chris, I don't know what year you left music, but you were pretty epic. You were pretty epic. I know I left in 2010. So you had to leave like 2000 something. Yeah. Well, Chris was my friend, but he was my favorite artist, and he still is. People don't know that Super Mario, now that he is Bill Cosby, once was a rapper himself.
I'm a singer.
I still got something to Crump. Yeah, the beginning of Crump.
That's legendary. That verse legendary.
I got the CD. Listen, man, my son. Hey, listen, you never know the impact that you have on your kids and their dreams. Man, y'all know we grew up together. My son would be right by my side with all of us, or he'll be riding in the back seat with us. And for him to say, hey, I don't want the NFL no more. This is my dream. I was reluctant. All of y'all came and mentored him and talked to him, had discussions I didn't even know about. And the boy took off. The boy is on Apple Music. He's grinding, man. I told him the work it take. He grinded. So thank you to Chris. Thank you to Hardy. Thank you to Zay, who was in the video. I'm his dad. I want a video shot at my house.
I'm the cool uncle, though.
Use my
I'm
vehicle.
The cool uncle. It is what it is.
I'm finding I ain't even in the video. I couldn't even get 30 seconds, like a clip. I'm not in the video.
You in the backstory. You know what I'm saying? How he came to fruition, and you know what I'm saying, who he mastered this from, all that good stuff.
I want to be in the video. But Zay on that thing. Yeah, but whatever. What's y'all closing comments, man? I thank y'all though.
And, fellas, you are kings. You are kings, fellas, and act like it. Protect our women, protect our family, take care of your family, and most importantly, chase your dreams.
Hardy.
Yeah, all that. First, I'm gonna say I love y'all, and I'm proud to be a part of this because I think good male representation is needed, and I appreciate all y'all because we telling right here needed too, because we all been through something. You know what I'm saying? We all I think have grown to become men, as what I call a man. We stand on our own, like you said, we self-sufficient and we chasing our goals. And I really do want to do more for the youth too. So I agree with Chris is saying too, because Tyler, that really do. Because every time we say something, Tyler always say mentorship. And I know he getting it from Tootie. I definitely know that. But I don't even think Tyler's speaking for himself. I think he's speaking for the youth, period. Just saying it's probably coming up in his face a lot, like with his friends and all this. And I understand that he got a lot of uncles and a dad and all this, but a lot of people he gonna come in contact with not gonna have that. So I think we do got to do a better job as men bridging the gap, because we really just need to do better as men, because right now we held each other.
We getting out of class, bro. Yeah. Huh? I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't mean to cut you, but it's something you said last time about how the women are to the forefront. You know, Chris, with your sister, that unfortunate accident or incident, I said that wasn't an accident, that incident, you know, as men, it's not even a man. I haven't even, but I'm sorry, I take that back. I did see one man who had that same thing, but the women at the forefront, speaking from the mayor of Atlanta to the mayor of DC, I don't see any black men, mayors, stepping up saying anything or taking any backlash for that matter. But then also too to talk about what you were saying, Hardy, as far as like the mentorship with Tyler, because he hits my DM too and lets me know, and I got a few questions from him prior to coming on, you know, that I wanted to address. But his friends are looking at him and they're saying, I see how Tyler interacts with his father and his uncle. One of the key things that made us the super friends is that iron sharpened iron. We didn't have our fathers around. We raised each other. You guys said that on the first episode. If I did something stupid, y'all would roast me. You feel me? And vice versa. However, what we didn't have is what we are instilling in the ones coming up underneath us right now is Tyler. But that goes to show for any one of our sons, if it's you, Hardy, if it's you, Chris, with your nephews, when we come in contact with younger males, black males too, we are telling them the do's and the don'ts. What we did, yeah, it sounded cool, but it was done because we didn't have the leadership to get us where we needed to be. We were fighting and our way through to get where we are right now. So like you said, we started off on this path and we transitioned, some of us slower or faster than the others. But the whole thing is that we're moving, whether we're moving, you know, fast or slow, we getting that ultimately. And we want to make sure that the youth get there. But if they can get there faster and obscure some of the foolishness that we went through, man, I'm all for doing that. And I'm wanting to do it. I don't care if it's from this podcast or from a barber's chair. I'm going to talk to you and steer you in the right direction. I hope that all of us can do the same.
Well, I want to say one thing before we close out. Mentoring, I think mentoring extends to you die, because you know I've probably done more mentoring with guys our age, because a lot of our friends still on the streets. You know what I mean? So a lot of people know where I came from, know where each one of us came from. They know 30th Street. To see us all professionals now and moving on is something that a lot of people still they're struggling to get to that. Fat Dog is on live, Fat Dog around the country making money. Even when we were out in our community as young men, we knew that's not what we wanted. We knew we wanted to evolve. So I thank you guys, because I can call each one of y'all and get some different perspective. Because this was a rough week for me. The last couple of days has been rough as hell. I've talked to you. I've talked to Chris. Chris is going to give me some brilliant wisdom in the most asshole way possible. Hardy's going to give it to him in a good Bill Cosby way. Zay might just listen. You know what I mean? But like I say, bro, we still learning from each other. And mentoring don't stop. You know, even mentoring ain't us talking to little kids. It's us talking to each other as well.
Yeah, I want to say too, I'm proud of y'all, because I want to push this agenda too, as this show too, that I know Chris brought this up. I know a lot of our daddies dropped the ball, but I'm saying I'm proud, because every time I'm in a room with a woman and they start degrading men, I can go down a list of dudes who I know who are good fathers, hardworking men. And I'm proud of that, because I know a lot of men who are out here not beating women, taking care of themselves, building businesses, supporting their children. So I'm proud to say that. And I want that stereotype to get pushed more and more and more, because there's a lot of us out here who blindly becoming better and better and better. And nobody's saying, hey, good job, y'all. Good job, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Which is needed.
Tearing us down. So I'm saying, as a brother to y'all, I'm saying I'm proud because little do y'all know it. I rely on y'all daily, even in conversation, to say, I drop y'all name. Shit, I know somebody who doing this. I see somebody who doing, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a whole bunch of people I know who not even on here who doing good stuff and good folk. So I appreciate y'all.
Kev Williams tuned in. I see Poogie, who's scared to get online. Fat Dog, Tavares Towns. Yep. So it's big. And Chris, you know, I always have a slick comment, but I love you personally for what you're doing with my son. You know what I mean? That's big for me, man. Because I'm doing a lot.
Needed, bro. It's needed. Information that he takes from Chris might be the same information that you were trying to tell him, but because it's coming from you, it's not being received well. But he can take it from an uncle. I think that collectively, all of us, and not just us four that's on this podcast, but men in general, because I do it for my homeboys who locked up, who are dead and gone. You feel me? Or just I feel like they don't have a clue. Because like you said, we gotta mentor them. But then when you see that child is off, hey man, that what you doing? Pull a little tail to the side. Hey man, that what you doing ain't right. And be there for them because it's support. A lot of us got off on the wrong track. I feel like just because the culturalization of, or culturally what we saw individuals in the hood get into it. They didn't know that there's another way that they can go about it. So you only do what's your ceiling, what you see being done. And I think with us seeing that there's another route and just teaching them that, hey man, you ain't gotta go to the block and make money. Man, you can go on offer up and buy stuff for cheap and sell it and still make money. It's the same concept, except for one you go to jail, one you won't. You feel me? And then also teaching other things that we talked about in the beginning with this holding the door for a woman, because it seems like that's gone out of style. You feel me? Or pumping the gas, because I've seen that at gas stations. Dude on his phone and girl out there pumping gas or pumping up a tire. I wish my daughter would. You feel me? So I think it's definitely needed.
All right, Chris, since I gave Zay the last comment, I'm going to give it to you before we close out. We overdue for a trip. I showed y'all the Maldives or whatever the hell it is.
Man.
Whatever. Hey, we due for a trip, man. So we had that discussion offline. Chris, you got the last comment. Let's go before we can close up out of here.
Fellas, build your credit, get you a business, start you a corporation. Don't take no shit off of women. But also in the same respect, don't disrespect women. We're not here to sit here. This is not a show to bash women. We're not here to talk down on them. We're here to protect. We're here to provide. We're here, and I don't mean just financial provide. I mean we're here for a reason, and we take care of our village. We take care of our village. Take responsibility in taking care of our village. But that starts with taking care of you. Stop being a sorry ass nigga and get out and do something for your goddamn self. Get your ass off that damn couch. Stop playing the damn game all day. Stop fucking around in the hood all day. Go get you something. Go do something so you can be so you can take care of everybody around you, because it's going to start with us. This revolution, this empowerment is going to start with us, because one of the number one educated people in this, newly educated people in this world is black women. One of the number one entrepreneurs in this world, growing entrepreneurs in this world, are black women. Catch the fuck up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm closing out. We just got a sponsor, Chris and Zay, and you're dropping the M-bombs, okay? We just got our first sponsor. We apologize to our sponsor right on cue. If you don't like the food, don't come back. So this has been another podcast with the Super Friends. See you guys later. Please share this podcast as just a bunch of friends that have turned professional, trying to give back, whether it's mentoring or empowerment. Love y'all guys. Later.